Okay, so welcome to this week's Wednesday wisdom meditation, and we've got a really hot topic that we're going to be covering. So this is where I am going to connect you to your Akashic Records, your cosmic library of information that contains all of the information about your soul from your soul's creation, from the beginning of time. And all of that is recorded in your Akashic Records. So all your choices, consequences, thoughts, feelings, relationships, memories, everything that you have done is recorded in the Akashic Records. And so I like to build up your practice to support you with connecting in with your Akashic Records so that you can empower yourself to do some of your own healing, to learn more about your soul's journey. And, you know, those karmic lessons, those patterns, those things that really hold us back. So this is my way of supporting you, introducing you to your Akashic Records, but supporting you with your own connection as well. So if you don't know me, my name's Marina, the Soul Alchemist, and I support my clients with obviously using the Akashic Records to connect with their karmic blocks, baggages, limitations, restrictions, programs, all the things that hold us back in our life and business. And I support my clients with moving forward and having those life and business transformations and breakthroughs. So the way that I use the Akashic Records in this scenario is to take you on a journey. So just know that the best way to go into your Akashic Records in this way is to have an open mind, be curious, don't have any high expectations of what it is that you're going to do. I just want you to relax and just embody your Akashic Records in the way that is appropriate for you. Your intuitive language is going to be different from the next person. So you might be visual, you might sense, you might just know that you're in there. You might get a little bit of a feeling, you might hear your guides. It's all perfect. And if you're not kind of really strong on any of those at this point, I would say, please give this a go anyway, because it is going to help support you with your strengthening your intuition and that connection. So today's hot topic is addiction. It is a big topic, and I'm going to put a disclaimer out there now, by whatever work we do today, I am not by any shape or means promising that you are going to clear your addictions fully from this one session. What it is going to open up though is what probably addiction that you feel that you need to look at. And addiction's it's a bit of an icky word, so I'm going to give you some other words to also connect in here. What you feel consciously, what your number one addiction that you would like to kind of heal or look at, but then we are going to connect with the addictive aspects of yourself, and you might get a different answer. So what is addiction? So I looked at the definition in the dictionary, and the first one that came in was the fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance or activity. So that is the official dictionary definition. Other words for addiction is dependency, craving, habit, weakness, or compulsion. So choose your word, because you may feel that addiction, for me, addiction has quite a lot of shame attached to it, maybe a lot of blame or guilt also. And what I want you to think about before we go into the Akashic Records is what is the habit or the weakness or the compulsion or the dependency that you would like to address today? What would you like to focus on? So this could be for some of you, this compulsion, and this is mine, to working hard. And feeling that we have to work hard for success, to deserve it, to feel comfortable with it, that it can't just happen naturally, easily, effortlessly, because then I feel that, you know, in some shape or form, I've not worked hard enough to actually deserve it and feel comfortable with it. So that's my kind of addiction habit thing that I've got going on there. For some of you, it might be food. It might be toxic relationships. It could be people pleasing. It could be alcohol, which has been mine in the past, which is what led me to use the Akashic Records to learn more about the Akashic Records, because I had my own psychological addiction to alcohol cleared in the Akashic Records. It could be an addiction to not eating enough, to really controlling the amount of food that you eat. It could be an addiction to being ill and your health. So some people can kind of have this cycle of wanting to be well, and then they get themselves well, and then they find themselves, once they've got to that point, they don't know what to do with themselves, unconsciously or subconsciously. So that they manifest another condition or another illness, then they can feel ill again. And that can be a cycle that can come. And that could be an addiction. So think about, what is the addiction? What is the craving or the habit that you would like to start to work on? And what I would recommend is that you come back to this particular session and work on the layers of it. And then that way you're going to be releasing more and more of that kind of hold or that grip or the programming or the chords or whatever the need is that your addiction or craving is fulfilling. That's what we need to identify. What does it fulfill? And then what can you replace that with? So I'm going to give you an opportunity while we're in the Akashic Records to get more honest insights, because we might have a logical perspective around what our need is, and it's good to have the consciousness awareness of that, but it's also good to have the soul's view on that as well. So that's what we're going to do today. So without further ado, I'm going to connect you in with your Akashic Records. So I connect you, I ground you, connect you with Divine Source. I'll call in your spiritual support team, and then we'll get on with the work. So I'd like you to place your hands face up towards the ceiling, and want you to close your eyes. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to get ourselves very present back into the body, and just bring to your mind what it is that you want to work upon today. So just have that firmly in the mind, or say it out loud, and then your higher self has captured that. Okay, so take a big deep breath in for me. So you're going to be calling back all of your energy from across time and space, people and events. So breathing in all of your energy back to you, back into the lungs, back to your physical body. And then on the out breath, I want you to relax your shoulders, allow your body to soften. And then again, take another deep breath in, calling back all of your energy from across time and space, people and events. And then again on the out breath, allow everything to relax, release, and let yourself go. And then one more time, take a big deep breath in, calling back all of your energy from across time and space, people and events. And then again on the out breath, start to really drop into the heart space, bringing your awareness and your attention out of the head, traveling down to the heart. And allowing the heart and that beautiful ball of energy that's within your heart, a pink ball of energy, the pink ball of light, allowing it to expand and grow within the heart. And that pink ball of energy, I want you to now intentionally imagine, sense, feel, or just know that it's starting to travel through your torso, moving down the physical body, down through the legs, through the feet, taking that pink ball of energy now into the earth, into the ground, going deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper, deeper into the ground. Take that pink ball of energy, that pink ball of light, down to the heart of Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is represented by a beautiful, glistening crystal. Just sense, feel, know, or imagine what kind of crystal is there at the heart of the planet. You may not know the name of the crystal, but what colour is that crystal? Mother Earth's heart is calling for your pink ball of energy to connect. Take your pink ball of light and place it into the crystal, feeling that connection instantly at your own heart space as you connect with the heart of Mother Earth. And with that connection, she will start to transfer crystalline energy into that pink ball of light, which instantly connects with your own heart. As that crystalline energy transfers into your pink ball of light, that crystalline energy at your heart space starts to grow and expand. That colour, that glistening colour, expands through the body as you become more and more relaxed, more and more present, and more connected with your physical body. Sense that energy growing, filling every aspect of the physical body through all of your chakras, all of your bones, your organs, your blood, the nadis, the meridians. Everything is being filled with that crystalline energy. And just notice how peaceful and present you feel now. Feeling earthed and grounded and connected to the heart of Mother Earth. That crystalline energy starts to work its way through the skin and out into your auric field. And before you know it, you are encased, encapsulated by that crystalline energy in a beautiful sphere of light. You may start to feel tingling around your skin. You may feel a temperature change. You may not feel anything at all, and that's perfect. Just know that you're held lovingly by the heart of Mother Earth, fully grounded and fully connected. We're now going to invite your spiritual support team to step into your space, your own personal guides, and these will be beings of 100% pure love and light only. Now starting to step into your space, you may start to feel their energy as they step closer to you. These will be angels, goddesses, gods, elementals, ascended masters, star beings, star races, your own personal guides, your ancestors, your family guides, all stepping into your space. If it's required for you to connect in with your Akashic Records, they will be there. We're just now going to invite your ego to step out of the physical body and start to head towards the door of the room that you're in. Your ego is quite happy to do this. They have a smile upon their face because they know that they'll be back soon enough. Notice your ego leave, closing the door gently behind them. And so you can be fully trusting that any guidance that comes through in any way, that it comes from your guides or your higher self. We're now going to invite 6 archangels to also hold you in an angelic sphere of light. Archangel Michael steps in behind you, Archangel Gabriel to your left, Archangel Raphael to your right, and Archangel Uriel in front of you. Archangel Sandalphon, please take a space below our feet. And Archangel Metatron, we invite you to now bring down the Christ grid, the golden fiery white grid of conscious light. Archangel Metatron has this grid within his hands. He's bringing it down through the ceiling of the room that you're in. And this is a horizontal grid that he takes through the etheric chakras above your head and at the back, through your physical body, and it rests just gently at the heart. So feeling connected above and feeling connected below. I'm now going to bring your awareness to the third eye, the point between your eyebrows. And I want you to start to imagine, sense, feel, or just know that there's a purple portal of light there at the third eye. And this purple portal of light starts to get bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. And it gets so big that you step through that purple portal of light and you find yourself in a corridor. This is the corridor that leads you to your Akashic Records. And as we walk down this corridor, I want you to actively open up your senses. So as you start to walk down the corridor, start to hear your footsteps on the floor. Start to sense what kind of floor that it is that you walk upon. Is it soft? Is it hard? Does it feel like wood, perhaps carpet or stone? Just really get a sense as you walk down that corridor, start to visualize or imagine what the walls are like. Perhaps there are pictures upon the wall, or maybe windows, curtains, maybe wood paneling or stone. As you walk down the corridor, place your fingertips on the walls, feeling the texture of the surface beneath the skin. Can you smell any particular odors? Maybe the smell of old books, maybe flowers or scented candles. As you get to the bottom of the corridor, there before you is a large door. And again, take in what this door looks like. And upon the door, there are your details, your full name, your date of birth, and your place of birth. Once you can sense, feel, or just know or imagine that those details are there, place your hand upon the door handle and open the door to your Akashic Records. Step into your cosmic library, taking a few more steps in, allowing the door to shut gently behind you. I now want you to just spend a few moments standing within your own library, your own records, feeling that wisdom, all of that knowledge, all of your gifts, your journeys, your mastery, held within the pages of the books that surround you. This often feels like coming home. Feel that connection to your own self. And then notice perhaps how large your library is. Does it have many floors, many books? Or does it feel quite small and maybe quite modest with just a few books on show? This is perfect, however your Akashic Records looks, senses, or feels. And just know that it can change every time you visit. Now I want you to take a few more steps, heading over towards the long, large table in the center of your library. Upon this table, there is a large book. This is your present lifetime book that holds all of the information, all of the activities, the thoughts, and the feelings, choices, actions, decisions that you have made in this lifetime. And even today, as you glance at the book, you notice that there is pictures and illustrations and words that have already recorded everything that you've done so far today. As you are looking at your book, you can sense that there's an energy that's starting to appear on the left-hand side of you. This is your Akashic Record keeper, the one that wants to support you today. Turn around and greet your guide in any way that feels appropriate for you. This could be a hug, it could be a nod, it could be hello. Your guide is smiling and is pleased that you are visiting your Akashic Records today, knowing that what we are covering today is an important topic that could help you to elevate your life in so many ways. If this guide feels new to you, then if it feels right, ask for a name and offer your own name as well. And then your guide lets you know it's time to start the process. So your guide is going to start to take you over to a door on the right-hand side of your library. As you get to the door, you notice that there's a plaque upon that door. And on it, it says the Chamber of Addiction. This is where all of your habits, your tendencies, your needs, your dependencies are all held within this chamber. And they can cover so many different things. But your guide knows that we're only going to look at one today. Taking those steps just to look at one is all that you need. It's more than enough. Your guide lets you know that they are here to support you, but opens the door and invites you to step in to that chamber of addiction. Take those few steps in and just notice what the room looks and feels like. Does it feel inviting? Or does it feel quite cold? Just get a sense of maybe what's in there. And you might find that there are many books all around you, or perhaps it feels like a store that has lots of bottles and jars. It may not have much in there at all. Just take a note of what you can sense, feel, know, or imagine. And your guide lets you know that you are now ready to start this process. And so before you, you start to see an image, a persona, a person starting to appear. This is an aspect of you. This is your dependent self. This is your dependent personality who is going to be helping you today. Take a few steps forward and embrace this aspect of you. Letting them know that you love them, and today they have a voice. Ask them, which is the number one dependent or habit or addiction that they would love to release today? And now ask them which habit, dependence, or addiction that they are ready to release. Are these two habits or addictions the same? Now ask this aspect of yourself, what do they gain from having this habit, this dependence, this addiction? Take a note of what is being given to you. And this could be given in words, colours, feelings, images. I'm going to give you a few moments just to understand what this aspect of your personality gains from having this addiction. Let your personality, this dependent aspect of yourself, know that they can receive the gains, but in other less harmful ways, if they will allow it. And so with their agreement, we're now going to ask for this aspect of yourself to present to you the bindings and the ropes that represents the programs, the habits, the tendencies, the implants, the imprints, the trauma, the wounding, anything that is keeping you stuck and bound to this habit, this addiction. They are now being presented by this aspect of you. They are being broken from that aspect of you. And your dependent self hands these bindings and cords to you. Make a note of how many they are. Take them from your dependent self and thank them. Let them know that you appreciate and love the fact that they have taken the first steps to release those bindings, those cords, those blocks that have kept them stuck. With those bindings, we're now going to hand them to another guide that is now stepping into the space, into your chamber of addictions. This is Archangel Christiel. Archangel Christiel is directly connected with Christ conscious light. Archangel Christiel is also connected with the causal chakra, which connects you to your fifth dimensional self and above, and your spiritual support team, your guides, the angels, your Akashic records. Archangel Christiel steps forward with a huge beaming smile upon their face, knowing how challenging this first step may be. In his hands, the Archangel Christiel has a large sack. Place those bindings into the sack. And before Christ conscious light is brought into that sack to transmute all of those habits and addictions, those bindings, ask your dependent self if there is anything else that needs to go into the sack. Are you being handed anything or given anything? If you are, take that from your dependent self and also place that into the sack. Archangel Christiel now starts to utter a few words, and from his hands, he starts to channel Christ conscious light. This beautiful, strong, powerful golden light appears within his hands, and he places that ball of light into the sack, which then glows unbelievably bright. And all of those bindings and those objects, those habits, those tendencies, those addictions, on whatever level or layer, are now being dissolved. How do you feel as these layers of addiction and habits and dependencies are being released? Make a note of where you are feeling the release the most. This could be in your aura. It could be in the physical body, it could be in a chakra, it could be in the mind. Allow those addictions to be released in Christ conscious light. And we request that all learning, knowledge, and wisdom is kept intact in the Akashic Records, but we are now releasing the bindings and the hold that they have. We are now releasing the perceived gains that we have or had from those habits. And we are now open to replacing that gain with something that's far more aligned and for our highest good. That golden light starts to fade away as those bindings have been completely dissolved. And Archangel Christiel now steps back with a nod and a smile. Your dependent aspects of yourself is waiting for you to ask the following question. What do I need to do to continue this release? Wait for the feedback, the guidance that your dependent self has for you now. And then ask for your dependent self if there's anything else that you need to know that will support you after this session. Wait for any guidance or insights to be shared. And then embrace your dependent self. Give them a really big hug and let them know that you are always there for them, that they always have a voice. And just by releasing this aspect of this habit or addiction, doesn't mean that they disappear. It just means that they can transform into something else. As you embrace your dependent self, that aspect of you starts to integrate into your own body as you two become one. Feel that integration and feel how much lighter your dependent aspect feels. Just sense how you are feeling now about that number one addiction that you brought into the Akashic Records. What has shifted and what has changed? It is now time to say goodbye to Archangel Christiel as you head towards that door of the chamber of addiction and step out of the door and allow the door to shut behind you. Your Akashic Record Keeper leads you back over to the long, large table and invites you to now pick up the pen that is there next to your book and to write the following affirmation, which will become installed into your present lifetime book as a success anchor that will continue this alignment, will continue to influence a more aligned choice to create a more beneficial and aligned habit. So with that pen, I now want you to write, "It is safe for me to release my addictions. It is safe for me to realign. It is safe for me to release all of the perceived gains that I had from my addictions. I'm open and ready to move forward in a transformed and aligned way." that has now been installed into your present lifetime book, your Akashic Records, and will support your choices, your mindsets, your feelings, your emotions, and allow you or inspire you to do more work after this session. It is now time to say goodbye to your Akashic Record keeper. Do this in a way that feels appropriate for you. And then start to head towards the door of your records, having one more look around your library. Open the door, step into the corridor, and allow the door to shut behind you. And out loud or in your mind, I want you to now say, I now close my Akashic Records. Start to head towards the door, the purple portal of light at the end of the corridor. Once you get to that purple portal of light, step through the purple portal of light and start to bring yourself back into the chair. Start to rub your feet upon the floor, rub your hands upon your thighs, and start to just ground the healing, ground the information, any wisdom or insights, and just know that your higher self and your guides will continue this release and this healing over the next 24 hours. So it will continue to integrate through your Divine Soul Blueprint. Drink lots of water as you continue to release those levels, those layers of addictions that were allowed to be released by your dependent self, which might have been different to the ones that they wanted to release or wished to love to release. They might have been also different to the ones that you consciously had. They might have all tallied up. But the important thing was to really recognize what they were willing to release, because it's all about divine timing. It's all about not forcing what is available at this given time. So, of course, go back and use this session and repeat that process, just that short meditation, to go deeper with the same habit, or to identify maybe a new one. You work this in the way that feels aligned for you, but do share what you felt, what you received, what guidance you had, what things maybe were given to you as a way to continue this process after this session. But just know that we have done some very deep work today. So just notice how you are feeling around that tendency, that habit that you have. What has shifted? It will be perhaps a perception. It might be the mindset. It might be just a feeling. And work with that, actively work with it, because the more you ground the healing that we've done today, the more opportunity you've got to completely release that addiction fully. And so just for your information, it'll be 5 years this year that I've been teetotal. And that was a program of alcoholism that I had released in my Akashic Records, and the switch just went off. It wasn't a physical addiction, it was a psychological addiction. So I basically got my life back. But the secondary gains that I was getting from having that mental addiction to alcohol was to not do any healing, not embrace my feelings. It was a really beautiful way of numbing myself, not wanting to look at my own shit, basically. So that was the secondary, or that was the gain that I was getting from having that time and energy, mental energy, on restraining myself every day to not have a drink, which is kind of where I was at until I did some Akashic Record healing. Now, of course, I did a lot of physical stuff before then. I got myself to a point which this was almost like the last bit that needed to shift. And then I've obviously continued that aligned new habits of not having a drink since then, and replaced that gain that I had by embracing the Akashic Records and learning about the Akashic Records and how I could support others. So that was, what I replaced that with, and also going on my own healing journey to look at my own stuff. So that's a little bit about my story. I'd like to hear a little bit about your story and how this has helped you today, how it's going to help you in the future, and are you going to go back to it? What are you going to do afterwards? And of course, if you need further support, you'd like to go more deeper, more specific, then please do reach out and let's have a chat and let's see how I can support you in some kind of way. Okay, so love and blessings. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll speak to you very soon.